Hey, what is up, everybody? This is Stevie Breach coming to you here with the WWE Clash of the Champions 2019. This one has a little bit of a weird hook. They're going to be really pushing Seth Rollins and Braun Strowman on this pay-per-view. They currently are the Raw Tag Team Champions. Not only will they be defending the Raw Tag Team Championship belts, they're going to be facing each other for the WWE Universal Championship. In this first video, we're going to conquer the Raw Tag Team match, where basically Seth Rollins and Braun Strowman are going to be going up against Dolph Ziggler and Roode. A few weeks ago on WWE's Monday Night Raw, we had Seth Rollins and Braun Strowman defeat the Club, the OC, the Good Brothers, whatever you want to call them. They beat Machine Gun Carl Anderson and Luke Gallows for the Raw Tag Team Champions in the main event of Monday Night Raw. Right away, basically we had a match on Monday Night Raw to find out who the new #1 contenders were going to be, and out of the back, they picked a team of Dolph Ziggler and Roode to go up against Rollins and Strowman for the Raw Tag Team titles. Ziggler and Roode defeated a full roster of WWE tag teams, consisting of real tag teams that compete on Raw and SmackDown, as well as house shows each and every night for WWE. Ziggler and Roode are both single stars. It doesn't really make sure why WWE and the tag team division currently are just pushing makeshift teams of guys like you and you. We don't really have something for you to do, so let's put you out there. WWE gave up on their tag team division, I guess you could say, a little bit in the early 90s. It sort of stayed alive, and then it, got a little bit of a rebirth during the Attitude Era, and then they just killed it again. People, point fingers at different reasons, whether if it's, Vince doesn't like the fact that, when he books house shows, he has to, buy 2 tickets instead of 1 for a tag team because there's 2 guys on the team. That doesn't really make sense, because never in any time has WWE never really had tag team action on house shows. Even if they've used them in the openers or they've used them, somewhere on there, the tag team titles have always been defended and have never gone away. I think it's just really, when it comes down to it, they run out of time and they just don't care about, booking decisions for the tag team division. Every once in a while it gets hot. It seems like they care about it, and then it just falls to the wayside yet once again. So I don't know. In this match, it could go 1,000 different directions. We could see Strowman turn on Rollins and to lose the titles. That really, honestly, could happen if they sort of do this like they did the Cena versus Sting. No, I messed that up. I apologize. The Cena versus Rollins match for the United States Championship at the was that Night of Champions? Yeah, it was Night of Champions. They weren't using Clash of Champions yet. And then that was immediately followed up with Rollins versus Sting after that. If they put this later on in the show, where this is the co-main event leading into the main event, and there is no space-filling, Divas match or anything like that, Strowman turning on Rollins could immediately have Ziggler and Roode winning the belts. Them, picking Rollins up, dusting him off, ringing the bell, much like a Money in the Bank cash-in, and immediately going into the Universal Championship match of Rollins versus Strowman, where Strowman would have the early advantage because Rollins would be beaten down. With WWE sort of pushing Seth Rollins as the face of the WWE, I don't really see them doing a quick finish like that. I think you'd have to see Rollins having a comeback, maybe, selling some sort of an injury, and then just sort of looking at Braun Strowman like, oh, you son of a bitch. I think that, honestly, if they were going to turn Braun Strowman heel, they would have done it during the Stone Cold Steve Austin contract signing on Monday Night Raw. We even saw Strowman and Rollins fight together through Monday night in the 10-man tag to end the show, ending with the beer bash. I don't know if that's because they wanted to keep everybody happy because they were in Madison Square Garden and Stone Cold Steve Austin was there. And of course, if Strowman got unruly during the main event, he would have had to either have some sort of a face down with Stone Cold Steve Austin, and Austin would honestly have to hit him with the stunner, making Strowman look like he was kind of an idiot for turning heel on Rollins, only to take the stunner from Austin. Maybe they got put in sort of that booking decision, and then they also really didn't want to have the man of the night, who came there to pop a rating for him, having to have some sort of a Strowman, face-off where Austin would back off, like, no, I don't want none of you, because we've never seen that from Stone Cold Steve Austin, and there's no way in the world I think we're ever going to see it. So maybe they are, holding off on this deal. It doesn't really make a lot of sense. You don't see a lot of babyface versus babyface matches, unless it's like The Rock versus John Cena. WWE did try this, I think, might have been a Clash of Champions, or it might have been, or was it the Bash? It was a red, white, and blue pay-per-view. Main event, Bobby Lashley versus John Cena, the two faces of Monday Night Raw facing off together. They got a little scared towards the end. You saw a little bit of a mild Bobby Lashley heel turn, and then immediately after the match, all was forgiven, and it just sort of honestly went away. In this match, I think you have to pick Ziggler versus Roode, because once Rollins and Strowman have their match on Monday, especially if Strowman beats Rollins at the pay-per-view, do they have these guys just show up on Raw and act like no big deal? Put them in another Raw Tag Team Championship match against somebody else? And then maybe the fireworks really do explode and they have to put them in a match again at whatever the pay-per-view is after the Clash. I don't know. I'm taking Ziggler and Roode. Maybe we don't have a full-fledged heel turn, but it does cause some disruptance between Rollins and Strowman that they lost the championship.